Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, the 2022 crop season will it commence on Monday, December 19th. While the manufacturer is ready to receive cane, the SIB, as mandated by law, is yet to fix the date of the new crop. Impasse remains between the BSCFA and BSI ASR over signing of commercial agreement. And beekeepers increase knowledge in honey production and exportation of the product. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, December 15th, 2022.
Ever since I was a kid, I've dreamt of going to Mars. You can keep my dream alive.
Come with me. You cannot, under any circumstances, leave my room, okay? Only for 35 days.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Es un hecho que tu crédito dura más con Smart. Durante estos tiempos, todos buscamos cómo minimizar nuestros gastos y ahorrar a lo máximo. Con Smart, lograr esto es fácil. Es un hecho que con Smart su crédito dura más. Puede llamar de Smart a Smart y de Smart a Digital sin discriminar al proveedor, usando su crédito promocional. Mientras que con el otro proveedor solo puede usar su crédito promocional para llamar a Digital. ¿Qué significa esto? Su crédito promocional, ya que viene gratis al hacer sus recargas en temporadas de Double Ups, le otorga llamadas gratis a cualquier número nacional. Sigue con Smart y ahorra más dólares.
I met Alex on the plane. When I woke up in the morning, he was so alive.
I think they know you're lying.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Get her off that stage.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Tonight we're really late.
It was so much fun since this pandemic forced us on lockdown and like my online classes have been so stressful.
Oh my gosh.
And I bet you're glad that you finally get out.
Yes, that's true. And that girl, you may let loose. I never did expect that from you. Oh, Melanie.
Well defended again by Beverly.
Everyone thought this is a nice ball.
George to drive and the finish. Posting up Marcus Morris.
My gosh. Looked like Kobe hit him real hard. My gosh, Melanie. Now you the top.
4 minutes has 7 of their 9 points.
You see what I mean? The married life. She can even enjoy her friends like in a peace.
Mind your business. Someday you might find a great guy too.
Exactly. Well, I still kind of have a crush on he cousin. Oh, no, remember the one where I danced with at the wedding?
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Yeah, well, I would have go pal up down with he any day. Anyways, when the gun pass enough trouble for one night, make her walk on her out. Alright. Now I believe I have to go to that place at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Bye. Bye. I didn't do anything!
morning. Morning. Your friend Melanie bring this for you on the way to work? Take it. Check it. You have to be more appreciative. You got some nice friend. Remember, nothing never happened last night, right? Right?
I love you, Jack. You have to do this for you. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Your future self will thank you.
No. I need help.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, women and girls were at the highest risk of suffering domestic violence. Domestic violence involves violence between any member of the same household. It can happen to females or males, young or old. However, the evidence has shown that women and girls face the greatest risk. That risk has heightened due to the impacts of the pandemic, including job losses, mounting stress, and restrictions to movement and recreation. We can all help to combat violence against women and girls during the COVID-19 pandemic. Just like Melanie did, you can reach out to someone who is struggling and help them to find a way out. It is never easy, but together we can fight this. Belize will not be safe until its women are safe. Secure Belize.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new Smart Stream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, Smart Stream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with Smart Stream.
Ever since I was a kid, I dreamt of going to Mars. You can keep my dream alive.
Come with me. You cannot, under any circumstances, leave my room, okay? Only for 35 days.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
I met Alex on the plane. When I woke up in the morning, he was so alive.
I think they know you're lying.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Get her off that stage.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Jackie, let's go for ice cream. And remember, if your mom hear about this, Amy will get her share too. Hey, Jack. How about you and Uncle Jay pair a little game?
No, Uncle, I don't like your games.
Well, that means I'll have to start playing with little Amy then.
No, not Amy. I'll play with you.
That's my baby girl.
Sexual violence against children can cause lifelong harm and suffering, which may often be hidden. Too many survivors of sexual violence are re-victimized, even by the very people who are supposed to love and protect them. The restrictions put into effect during the COVID-19 pandemic made it even more challenging for people to report acts of sexual violence. It is never too late to speak up and to seek help you or a loved one may need. Sexual violence may breed a vicious cycle of domestic violence, and its effects can span generations. Girls who experience sexual violence as children are also at higher risk of staying in situations of domestic violence. Belize will not be safe until its women are safe. Secure Belize.
Good evening. With your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The Belize Sugar Industries Limited, BSI ASR, has announced that they are prepared to commence the new crop season on December 19th, despite the fact that an impasse remains between them and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association over the signing of a new commercial agreement. While we understand that both entities met today once more with mediator Julianne Ellis Bradley for the fourth time now, no agreement has been signed. Reports suggest all entities are scheduled to meet tomorrow again. But back to the start of the crop. While the miller is ready to start receiving cane on the 19th, that does not mean crop will start on Monday, since according to law, only the Sugar Industry Control Board can fix the date of the crop after consultation with the manufacturer and the associations, and this meeting is yet to take place, says Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai.
The date to opening the crop is set by the Sugar Board. The Sugar Board term expired 1 day ago. This morning, I have appointed a new board. That board will meet, scheduled to meet tomorrow evening. And that date will be set. By law, it is the Sugar Board that sets the date for the commencement of the crop. BSI could have announced their readiness to start on the 19th. But the board makes the announcement by law.
And any indications on whether or not how the progress of how the meeting today is going?
No, on the mediation, I have no information as yet.
Are you anticipating that things might actually get as bad as it got last year with that blockade and everything?
Hoping and praying that that's not the case.
While everyone is hoping for an agreement, the occurrences of last year, meaning the blockade, still looms. While that is not expected to occur this year, BSI is claiming that they faced a huge financial loss due to 3 days of stoppage last crop. But for the Minister of Agriculture, the milling company has exaggerated its numbers.
Let us look at the reality of things. How much days was the blockade? You remember? 3 days?
A weekend?
3 days. Call it 4. Give them the benefit of the doubt. How much were they milling in one day? 3,000 tons. 3,000 tons. Times 3, it's 9,000 tons. Put it on 4. Right? That's the amount of tons that was not milled. How much cane stayed out there? 124,000 tons. So the mischief has to stop. Look at the hard figures, right? So they're taking to court because you lose millions of dollars because of 3 days blockade.
3 million.
Right? I mean, come on. Come on. 3 days. The mill was operating at half capacity at the time because they did not have a turbine. Just like right now, a turbine just came into the country from Mexico. It came in 2 days ago. They're installing it today, and we expect that to be up and running in 10 days. It takes 10 days for them, more or less, to install that turbine. So if they begin on the 19th, they won't begin with that turbine. It will take them until the 22nd, 23rd, 24th maybe to get the turbine working. And on the Christmas time, the mill does not operate. Right? So they are banking on that too. So the mill will stop work on the 24th, 25th, 26th, and then they fix any other thing that went wrong. So I can understand the importance for them to select the 19th. Because the 19th, you crank up, half crank up. You got problems, you close them to the 4th, 25th, 26th and work on it. Right? So that's why the 19th is important for them, the 19th as a date to begin.
In a release issued today, the SICB states, and we quote, "It is our understanding that allegedly there is an announcement that the upcoming crop season 2022-2023 will commence on Monday, December 19th, 2022. We find it necessary to remind all stakeholders of the following. Section 61E of the Sugar Industry Act, Revised Edition 2020, states that the functions of the Sugar Industry Control Board shall include fixing in respect to each year, after consultations with the manufacturers and association, the period or periods known as the grinding season, during which manufacturers shall accept deliveries of sugar cane from growers and cane farmers, and specifying by order published in the Gazette the commencement and termination of each grinding season. Until the board has met to fix the date of commencement and publish the order in the Gazette, it is unlawful to commence the delivery and grinding of sugar cane. It is therefore important to reiterate that the law must be upheld, and until the official announcement is made by the board, the delivery and milling of sugar cane cannot commence." End of quote. We understand the new board should meet tomorrow. Honey development support, that is exactly what beekeepers receive today as they increase their knowledge of beekeeping in order to boost the honey industry in Belize and to prepare for the exportation of the Belizean product. With today's training, more than 40 certified beekeepers are now added to the growing honey industry. According to Minister of Agriculture Jose Abelardo Mai, this is excellent news for the country itself.
Nobody likes to get bee sting, you know. But that's the first thing you have to deal with, the stings, the day-to-day management, the cultural practices, how do you establish your hive, how do you set them out, what are some of the constraints you'll find, some of the problems you'll deal with. Just like a farm, you know, it's a farm. You have to deal with the animals, and so that this training entailed all of that, including some equipment for the beekeepers. Our tourism market is expanding, and as that expands, the demand for honey increases. There's different type of honey. The honey up north, for example, comes from sugarcane flowers. Right? That's a darker honey. I've seen the honey down south in Toledo. It comes from all the forests. It's beautiful. It's clear, crystal, and different people want different types of honey. So I think that we have tremendous potential, especially down south. I think it's just amazing. I think that the opportunities there are just amazing that we have for honey and other agricultural products in the south. Way back in the 80s, the production of honey fell. It fell so low that there was barely any production. We used to export to Europe at that time. So after so many years and efforts, we couldn't get it up until now. While after COVID, you see, tourism started to rebound, the sector started to rebound, and the demand started to grow. So we're back on track with the honey industry, and I think that now we have to move forward towards looking at the export market now. You know, we only have a certain amount which can be consumed in the country because of population. Now, as we expand, you see today we have new beekeepers, we have new production coming in. We have to look at the export market now. That means two things. It means one, standards, and the other, certification.
Once the Belizean product meets international standards, the country can start looking at the foreign market.
We have to have certification now to export to any country right now. It means now that we have to have traceability in place. We have to have good manufacturing practices. We have to have good standards in place if we're going to tap into the export market. The market for organic honey is great in Europe. And so that is something that we want to think about. If we're going to do honey, it's going to be probably organic. And I think that we have a tremendous potential to get into that market, the organic honey market.
A continuation of the project is expected since the ministry is interested in growing the number of trained and certified beekeepers. We brought you the story in our previous newscast about the BPMS win in the Supreme Court, who successfully received a consent order for redistricting in Belize. The Constitution provides for redistricting in order to have as close as possible equal constituencies in Belize. Presently, 31 constituencies exist. However, they are not equally divided. The Belize Peace Movement argued that by 2005, unfair representation was evident because campaigning had become difficult. In 2015, the Belize Peace Movement wrote a letter to the Elections and Boundaries, but went unnoticed. This forced the BPM in October 2015, when the Southern Coalition and the VIP joined in the movement, to file a legal case that was short-lived because of legal counsel errors. In August 2019, however, a case was filed to hold the Elections and Boundaries Commission bound to the rules mandated by the Constitution in relation to equal representation in the House of Representatives. Today, we hear from Senior Counsel Oscar Sabido, the Chairman of the Elections and Boundaries Commission, on the consent order.
We had ab initio, from the very beginning, established the date of July 2023 as the date for the presentation of the report before the National Assembly, as mandated by the Constitution. The Constitution is not an administrative law that provides dates for the Commission to do anything. It's simply the principles upon which the law must provide for redistricting, and that is set out, has not been set out in any law. We have the ROPA, which provides the administration. So we have discretion to work with time. So we had set our own timeline, but we had also set that we were going to, in effect, bring this matter to a preliminary report in July of 2021, coming up to 2023. But that, the Commission, in its wisdom, and this is all the Commission, sitting down, including members of the opposition, sat, and I may be wrong, we did a round robin type of thing, agreed to extension of time. In October, we extended, in July we extended to October, and in October we extended further. So we are in that extension time to conclude it because of different reasons. One was the referendum, where there had to be a checking of signatures by the Commission, and it was too overwhelming for the Commission to do the checking of all the signatures for the last referendum, which was going to take place sometime in October. And then the resignation of one of the persons, Mr. Aldana, who his resignation in effect prompted us to ask for more time, because we found that there were errors in what he was doing, and using that data that was from 2021, when we had the availability of data for 2022, and so we had to begin all over again after we appointed a new person. That person is from the, Mr. Aldana was the only person that we appointed who was not a member of the government staff or civil service, or what you want to call them. He was a private contractor.
Elections and boundaries now are tasked to enforce the consent order to allow for redistricting in a manner that encircles equality in all divisions. Sabita says the Constitution is not an administrative law, meaning that there would be no breaching of the Constitution if the redistricting does not take place.
If you remember, there were elections. The last redistricting took place in 2004, and the last election was in 2003. That redivision in 2004, when 2 divisions were added, was not really used in the next election until 2008. So the redivision took place as early as 2004, and we had an election in 2008. So what I'm saying is that timelines are not adhered to. The Commission does its work when it has because it has the discretion to see when there's a need for it. So the redivision in 2004 was used in 2008, and thereafter there was an election in 2012, 2015, and 2020 without any further redivision. So the redivision goes, the issue of the malapportionment is a fluid matter which develops and happens over a period of time. So it would be difficult for a law to say, well, you must do it on these particular dates. So the Commission seems to have the discretion to more or less do it when it is necessary. But there was no, I cannot speak for the previous Commission, but it seems that they did not find it necessary to do the redistricting before the election of 2020. And this is when the matter came up, but the time it came up was when the election was about to take place.
Sabita says that E&B is in full compliance with the rules and regulations that govern the department as it relates to redistricting. And while the process will be carried out, it is not a simple task.
Lease basis, it's redistricting on how many electors are in a particular area as distinct from population. And I believe that in the United States, probably I shouldn't be saying in the United States, but in many other countries, there are ways of in effect, redivisioning based on population sectors who are set out in different areas but constitute one particular division. And we don't do that. Our methodology is different. We base ourselves on keeping our divisions within district administrative boundaries, Stann Creek, Corozal, and we also simply try to do as least changing of the boundaries by moving polling stations as distinct from boundaries. So the geodata methodologies and the highly technical computerized systems of geographic information systems and so on are used by us as tools to help, but not to implement and do mapping in a matter of 3-4 days. We cannot do that. And then footwork is important because you have to go and see the reality of people out there, how they live, what access they have to transportation, what is the road that is not good for them to travel to go to a polling station. All of those matters require somebody or some persons to go out there and look at this, and we cannot do it in a few days, as was being proposed.
So, in principle, by the end of the redistricting exercise due to the consent order, every voter will have equal representation in the House of Representatives. We will have more from elections and boundaries in our subsequent newscast. And once the redistricting process is complete, one area that could see a cut is Orange Walk South. Today, the representative of that area, Jose Abelardo Mai, told the media he is already preparing for whatever the outcome of the process might mean for his constituency.
Whatever will happen. I'm prepared. If they take away Guinea grass from me and give me something else, I have to work. Right? I believe that redistricting is a very important activity. I mean, to have everybody give an equal opportunity. I have close to 7,000 voters. I've worked since 2006 in my constituency, so I know every family. If I don't know them by name, I know the father or sister by name. So it's a little difficult to let go of some of your people, right? But it is what it is. In politics, that's the way it goes, right? I have to be prepared for it, that's all.
And you're confident that at the polls again you'll be able to retain or keep Orange Walk South?
I think I've put in my work for my constituency and for the country as the Minister of Agriculture, but the people are the better judges of that. I can't pat myself on the shoulder. The people will do that for me, so I have to depend on them for that.
Was Guinea grass one of your strongholds?
It took us 20 years to win a village council for the PUP in Guinea grass. 20 years. And as in the village council election, and in 2020, the biggest margin of win was Guinea grass with 412 votes. That gave us the biggest win in entire Orange Walk South. Before that, Yo Creek used to give us the biggest win. Guinea grass now gave us the biggest win. And so we are grateful to the people of Guinea grass. We are grateful to all the people of Orange Walk South.
And while the redistricting exercise is worked out, Mai says he will continue focusing in developing his area.
I think we are doing a lot. Right now we are receiving a new water system for Guinea grass. That's always a problem. We'll make that announcement officially in the very near future. We are going to pave within the village of Guinea grass. The contract has been issued already to pave within the village. That's to begin with. And we will pave that road before elections. There's a lot of traffic flowing through there. There's a lot of food going, which is a very important road. So that will be done.
Coming up next, a move to preserve mangroves in Corozal. Stay tuned.
$1,000 in prizes this Christmas. One lucky customer will win $6,500 in fuel, plus over 40 customers will win either $150 in fuel vouchers or $500 in cash. To enter, spend $40 million or more in fuel. Complete the entry form and drop it in the boxes provided. Fuel up with Shell this Christmas for your chance to win. Promotion runs from November 21 to December 31, 2022. Terms and conditions apply. Visit solpetroleum.com/winbig with Shell for more details. Shell trademarks are used by Sol Brands Incorporated under license from Shell Brands International AG.
Mangrove forest, it looks ugly to many persons in the community, but the mangroves actually play an important role in our little Belize, especially for communities who live on the coastal zones. Some people say it's swampy wastelands that attract mosquitoes and block the beauty of the sea. However, more recently, planners, scientists, and coastal dwellers have come to value them as the remarkably diverse and complex ecosystems that provide a healthy coastline. Today, we know that mangroves along the seagrass beds and coral reefs work in tandem to keep coastal ones healthy. For these reasons, today members of the conservation community met at the Round House in Corozal Town to measure out where and when to plant mangroves in order to create more mangrove forests for Corozal.
Today I'm here in collaboration with the Sartania Alliance for Conservation and Development, supporting their activity to help create awareness around mangroves and at the same time talk to the public about our ongoing campaign to collect and support for our petition groups. But today we're here to talk about mangroves and how how we can all come as community to restore them, right? To try to replenish what has been lost, right? This is an ongoing project that is being pushed, like I said, by NCCD, Corozal Town Council, and then us through advice and technical support. Today we'll be working on 2 sites that already have natural recruitment. We're going to be enhancing those sites. We're also receiving advice from Mexican colleague with Tropical Solutions in Chetumal. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a modified REM method. And we have colleagues from EcoPub, we have students from the junior colleges and some lecturers from the junior colleges as well here, because we want this to be a community effort, right? So we're going to be placing the mangrove propagules, some that already have the shoots out, some that are yet to take out the shoots, and then we're going to be monitoring them, right? And then we have other sites that we'll be doing data collection this afternoon. And then based on the data that we collect, we're going to be designing different projects or different methods for these sites. But for the sites today, like I mentioned today, we'll be using a modified method, PVC pipe 4-inch, planted into the ground with the different shoots or different propagules placed inside. Will be placed at sites that, like I mentioned, they already have natural recruitment. So we're just going to enhance that and use the area for monitoring while we design other projects for the different sites. We have 7 sites in total, one by Mangrove Park, one by Methodist Primary School, one by St. Paul's Primary School, one here by the Round House, another one by Jarmac, and another one by Panchitos, and one last one across in Soldiers Park. Those are the sites we'll be working on long term, but immediately will be by Jarmac and by Panchitos. These are
Evander Perez is from the Sartania Alliance for Conservation and Development, and they support the project. The goal is to increase the mangrove coverage in Corozal Bay.
We're here to work with Mr. Ryan Rivera in this initiative in the plantation of mangroves in the Corozal Bay. And we're here as we are co-managers of the Corozal Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. So here today we like to work in this initiative and invite the public to help us protect the mangroves. We would like to also raise awareness as to help them understand the importance of mangroves and the different ways that the mangroves help us as the communities near the beach.
The public is advised not to interfere with the mangroves planted inside the Corozal Bay waters. Replanting a future mangrove forest takes a lot of effort and time until the plant grooms into a mature tree. Hurricane Lisa landed in Belize last month as a Category 1 storm, and the damages are still being recorded. It pounded the building and housing sector, and government is not facing huge losses in that area. The agricultural sector was also impacted by the storm, and while the exact amount in financial losses is yet to be ascertained, NEMO already has on hand a complete comprehensive report of the situation.
We have submitted a complete comprehensive report to NEMO. I think that we made public any time now. That has been submitted. That was the procedure submitted to NEMO for the agriculture sector damages. We did the assessment already.
Can you give us a figure?
I can't give that figure to you later, but I have a report and I can give it to you. Because it has been changing every day, new reports come in. But the final report came in, I think, sometime a week ago, right? And so I want to look at that carefully before I release it. But I can give it to you, that's no problem.
Whether it's ham, turkey, rice, and beans, or potatoes for the salad, most of us rely on butane or liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, as you know it is to cook for the holidays. So here is some good news. On Friday morning, prices for LPG will reduce by $3 in the cities and towns and $4 in rural areas, or 16 cents a gallon. The new prices for LPG were published this evening. They are $1.25 per pound in the towns and $1.27 per pound in rural areas, a difference of 3 and 4 cents respectively from the last announcement on November 22nd. That means a 100-pound cylinder of butane now costs $125 if you are in the urban areas and $127 otherwise. The per gallon prices are $3.84 wholesale, $5.44 retail urban, and $5.54 retail rural. A decrease in the acquisition price for both propane and butane is credited for the fall in prices. Belize's Minister of Agriculture, Jose Abelardo May, has assumed the pro tempore presidency of the Central American Integration Systems, CICA, Central American Agricultural Council, CAC. According to Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, MAFSE, the Central American Agricultural Council wished the best success to Minister May on assuming the pro tempore presidency and thanked Limber Cruz, Minister of Agriculture of the Dominican Republic, who was the CAC pro tempore presidency during the last semester. MAFSE said the Ministers of Agriculture of the CICA region on Monday held their last session of 2022, during which they made a comprehensive assessment of the actions carried out in the agricultural sector. They also reviewed the progress of projects in the region and approved the agenda and priorities for 2023. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, December 16th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3 Belize News or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.